gotta admit that I murdered that Hamlet scene, bro. Shakespeare is in his grave right now. He rolled over. You did your thing, beloved.
What's up, gentlemen? My name is Najee Chambers. I'm from Big Gold Belt Media. It's a complete honor and pleasure to talk to you today about your new film, Sing Sing, which is going to be making this nationwide release August 2nd. Welcome to the nation's capital, as we like to call the DMV. How are you three gentlemen doing today?
Doing great, brother.
Fine.
Thank you for having us.
Y'all looking smooth, man. Y'all ain't need to be doing no interviews today. Y'all, where the brunch or the rooftop parties at? We need to get y'all in the streets today.
Yeah, soon come, brother.
You had a premiere last night at the iconic National Museum of African American History and Culture, for everything that film represents to us in the community, and all the emotions you get from the multiple tours you're going to have to take in order to get through it all. To premiere a film about your life there, I'm sure there's at no way circumstances that you ever woke up one day and said that's going to happen. And maybe it did, but here you are. What is that emotions for you all?
Brother, I'm still speechless to some extent. Like I'm still pinching myself, trying to figure out if this thing is really happening. But it's a good feeling, man. And we just blessed to be able to finally be able to share with the world what we have been telling folks for many years, that there is power, transformative, rehabilitative, and restoring power in the arts. And I think what our program is doing is showing improvement. And we have a less than 3% recidivism level, which in and of itself is the proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
You know, and when you look at the national average, it's 60% of individuals that come back to prison within, 3 years, 3 months, they're back in prison. RTA, once we touch them, once we give them the gift of these life skills, the gift of love, the gift of community, the gift of humanity, it works.
You must have some magic with you, because he said he was speechless.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, man, like we're just seriously humbled by the receptivity that the world is giving to our story, because for the most part, we've been trained to think that society doesn't care, right? And the way that these screenings keep like just bringing more and more people together, getting more and more people connected to the real issue. I mean, that's what really matters, and it is mind-blowing. I don't think none of us are speechless though.
Figurative term.
I think it's amazing. It's very humbling. And it's something that the world needed.
Yeah.
At the right time.
That's right.
Because this has been a secret for many years. It's in the bowels of Sing Sing. And it came out the right time for the people to know that there are men and women behind the wall, armies of us, that are reinventing ourselves and preparing ourselves to become part of the community and help problem.
I want to touch up on something really quickly. So I and you all, and I look up to you all. Obviously, I like to say that the OGs in the world here, the big brothers, the big homies, however you want to put it. The world has never really provided a space for Black men to not be okay, to hurt, or to ask for help, or whatever it may be. And by looking by the vehicle of the RTA, we see that measure of vulnerability on display that I don't know if we've ever seen in a film ever. So as much as we talk about the rehabilitation process through the RTA, we're also seeing expose something that we all know exists. We just aren't willing to talk about it because there hasn't been a safe space for us to do so. So it's like a twofold thing. It's like, this is the solution, but also this is what the awareness of what the problem is. For you all to come together as Black men in a world that already oppresses us for every damn we do left and right, but to be on screen, to be vulnerable, to really not be okay, to express the words "I need help." What does that what was that process, and what are those continued conversations amongst the peers?
In many of our communities, we grew up as Black men, being told it's not okay to cry. We don't cry. It's not good to be affectionate. It's not good to love your brother. You know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to hold all this in. That is unrealistic. Right. That is something that many men come to learn when they go to prison, because grown men cry in the middle of the night when they realize the mess they got themselves into and how they hurt their families. And learning how to be vulnerable teaches you that doesn't make you less than a man. It makes you a stronger man, because it's all about those insecurities. You know what I'm saying? And you can't allow them insecurities to put us in that mental prison. And that's a lot of us in the community and in prison is trained to think. And it's a prison. And it's all about being human and letting it out. It's healthy. Crying is a form of replenishing yourself.
Yeah.
Even as a baby, when you get upset, and by the time you finish crying, you forgot what you was angry about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, what they fail to realize is that crime is a response to poverty.
Mm.
And so people think that crime is a mentality, and it really isn't. It's a means of survival for people who have not been taught how to create opportunity for themselves. Because like you said, opportunity isn't present in our lives, in our reality. We have to make it. And people haven't been taught how to do that from when they were young, right? And so we're talking about a culture of people that were never believed in from the beginning. But when you bring in the type of people that we had involved in this set, from the directors to the producers, when you bring in the spirit of RTA, these are the people that lean into you and believe in you and find a way to create the opportunity for you to succeed, right? And so what we want is the world to take a page out of the scenes of the film, out of the creation of the film, and start creating opportunities for other people so that we can flourish together.
Yeah, and the reality of the whole RTA situation is that this was kind of like built into the whole entire program. As a founding member, me and Dino are founding members, by the way. When we created this program, it was created exclusively to help address issues, to help solve a problem, to teach life skills, to make people become more in tune with their emotions, to make people open up and basically put down those masks. So it was kind of weaved into it because we knew and understood, like Dino eloquently put it, is that this is abnormal. Man, people cry. People, this is abnormal to say that every time we get into a situation, we got to pull out the hammer instead of a feather. We got to do it this way and that. That's something that's being imposed on us that to me is inhuman, and it's not of our characteristics. It's not of our Afrocentric greatness. It's not of this. This is something that's being self-imposed on us. So when we weaved it, we architect the program to fight that and combat that. When, as a steering committee member, Dino, as well as steering committee members, when we interviewed individuals to bring them into the program, we kind of set the stage, brother. You got to think outside the box here. We got to go above and beyond. So we weaved it into the whole infrastructure from day one, because we knew what we were trying to address. And we knew that this, if we could actually get individuals to buy into this element of, you gotta experiment with some new behaviors here, because we gonna test the bounds here. And when they seen us doing it, because me and Dino, when we was in the system, we well respected. By the time we created the program, we had put a lot of work in. We had developed reputations of respect and this and that. So it was easier for us to sell it to the younger folk. They say, hey, if the and Big Dino doing this, I think I can experiment with this. And, we made ourselves vulnerable. Yeah. And I think it worked. And as you can see, we have a 10%, we have a less than 3% recidivism level, while there's 60% for the general population. I mean, apparently something's working.
My man. Brothers, let me ask you a question really quick. Very simple question. It's been a long road for you all to get to this point today. I just want to know, what are you thankful for?
Say that again?
What are you thankful for?
What are you thankful for? Yeah.
I'm thankful that I'm still here. I'm thankful that I'm blessed and able to deliver a solid message, of survival, a message of turning lemons into lemonade, because a lot of us don't understand the resilience of the human spirit. It's in us. We can survive anything. We're not victims.
Well, I am thankful for the simple fact that despite serving 25 years in prison for a crime I did not commit, found the evidence of my innocence and still couldn't get out, that I was able, willing and able, and fully, incentivized by the fact that I was able to take that horrific situation and turn it into something, and to make sure that I didn't let it make me bitter, resentful, angry, and I use it in a way to help people. And I say this, I mean, I think that the will of the universe, higher forces, God, Allah, whatever you want to call it, I think that it gave me, it put me through this ordeal because it knew that somehow I was going to take it and help people. So I think things happen for a reason. I'm grateful in that regard that I respond to it in such a way where it helped people. I feel blessed, despite all of the hell I went through. I feel blessed in a sense because now this movie is going to touch the world.
Yeah.
Touch the world.
Yeah, I could relate with both of these brothers, particularly with Divine G. After serving 23 years, 7 months, and 8 days for a crime I didn't commit, I definitely feel grateful just to be able to stand here, right? To be able to have survived that. And I'm also grateful for the lessons that I learned while I was incarcerated, right? Because I was already in the urban culture. And so I knew what was happening. But to actually live it the way that we did and to experience it in that way and to start looking for a sense of purpose, right? While you're there, because you know you don't belong there. What we were able to absorb and take from that experience and put into films like this, to get on stages, to share this reality with the world, there's no better outcome from such tragedy. It's turning tragedy into triumph. And I'm grateful for it.
You know what's really humbling? I admire these two, because if I was in prison for something I didn't do, I've never seen the anger or the rage that I know it creates. And the fact that I'm angry, that's humbling for me. And that's taught me so much. And I'm grateful to be around brothers that are that well-rounded.
I just want to say, I'm absolutely thankful for the film. It's still, I think I screened it about 2 weeks ago. I'm still processing it myself. I just know how impactful this is to the community and how this is not just going to change the world, but heal the world. And I also am thankful for the theme of the rehabilitation through art. It's not something, I don't know if I've ever seen it verbally expressed, but it's absolutely something that we all know, whether it's music, but seeing it through theater, seeing it through film, understanding one way or another that there's healing power through that. And then I'm truly thankful for you three gentlemen, because as the younger generation, I'll say I was taught that this is what the man does, this is what the man looks like, this is what you're supposed to do. and all these sorts of different things that were considered norms that we see through this film, we see through you all right now, we see through all your activism through the RTA, that that in fact is all a lie, and that's a part of the problem. And now we're starting to see change in the right direction. And the last thing I'll say to that is, and I'm sure you all know better than anybody else, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Some people out here, they'll do anything to try to get on top. And once they get there, they're not looking back for a damn person. The fact that you all have gotten to this point and still reaching out to help is the change that we need in the community. You know, it's always the person that gets their first dollar, they're nowhere to be found. The same person that was asking for a handout last week, you know what I mean? And even through this now, we're seeing that power in respect isn't through tangibles, but it is through this measure of rehabilitation and what does it mean to be human. And that right there, I think, is why this film is going to be a game changer. And I have to ask you with my final question, because I know why this film is your life. What's next? Because now you three now, one way or another, I don't care how you want to look at it, you're Hollywood, you're stars. They're gonna look at this. They're gonna be looking down at IMDb. Like, I know they got all these credits down there, because it is a performance of a lifetime from the entire cast, everybody involved, whether production or whether the people in front of the camera. But because there is storytelling through this, and because there was such an important storytelling through this particular film, what is next for you all? Whether it's with the RTA or you're going back to get back on the screen one way or another, what's next?
Well, I'm going to continue to be on the screen, but that's not going to stop me from reaching out to the community and helping people, you know, because my love is in the art, and that's what I enjoy.
Well, me personally, I mean, while I was in prison, I wrote 13 novels. I had screenplays. I won 5 national writing awards. I became a prolific writer, and I'm going to continue. Right now, I'm shopping around some screenplays. Hopefully, if things go right, I may do a few more movies of my books. My company is Divine G Entertainment. You can look it up and you can see some of the works I got. I currently have 8 published novels, 3 audio books, and they're in a variety of formats. So I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing.
Yeah, for me, I'm about to flood the zone, man. I just got to be honest with you. You know, like Sing Sing the movie's coming out in August, right? September 10th, there's a book called Sing Sing Files about my journey with an NBC producer over 20 years, getting 3 other innocent men out.
Okay.
And then the first quarter of 2025, we got Sing Sing Chronicles, which is a docuseries about the actual situation of getting these guys out, seeing the real graphics of us being in prison. It's not fiction, it's all real, but it's all to continue flooding the zone, letting people know the truth about what we witnessed during our journeys. And listen, if there's some roles to step into that are going to provide meaningful platforms to continue sending this message, all 3 of us are in it. That.
Same here. I'm into the ensemble, so every movie I make, I would love to see my entire RTA family, A21 family, even your family. You part of the family too.
You're definitely part of the family now.
You know, I love to see every. Well, one thing for me, I show love wherever I go. That's it. Wherever I go.
I feel that. I feel that, and I receive that. Let me just tell y'all right now that we love you here in the DMV, the DC area. Hopefully you all come back through one way or another. But I know the next time definitely will be seeing and hearing you all's name. Y'all better get y'all. I don't know if this is your A game right now, which it could or could not be. Who knows? But just get your Sunday's best for award season, because you can expect that moment to be being dialed up right now for sure. Yeah, we put that in the air right now for you all. Right. But
power.
Absolutely. I'll be keeping my eyes glued for all the projects y'all got going on. And I love you 3 brothers. I really appreciate the story being told here, your time today. Sing Sing comes to theaters August 2nd. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely.